to do today.
The whole new acronym thing drives me effing bananas. Can we call him by his name?
Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
We saw the dumbest basketball team in the history of civilization.
Oh, wow.
We saw they had a 25-point lead, took eight straight threes. Like, they thought to get, like, that was some of the most mismanaged, stupid basketball. Hey, when you blow a 29-point lead, the other team has to help you. The San Antonio Spurs helped the New York Knicks win this game by doing some of the stupid-ass stuff I've ever seen on the basketball court. The Spurs and DeAndre Fox. DeAndre Fox, whatever. I'm going to call his ass DeAndre tonight. That was a dumbass play. Yeah, he did not have to shoot that ball. They could have just got fouled. There was no reason for him to shoot that ball.
Mazz, was last night about the New York Knicks or the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, the answer is both, but the Spurs are every bit as much of the story.
I disagree with you. It's not both. No, it's not. When you blow a 20-point fourth quarter lead in the finals, you blow a 29-point second half lead in the finals, the story is the team that blows the lead.
Well, that's probably true.
I mean, you can disagree if you like. I think the story is purely about the team that blows the lead.
I just think the Knicks have shown a history of being able to do this, and I'm not telling you that. I mean, I agree with Barkley just quickly on the idea that when you're talking about a lead that's that big, that late, there's a collapse involved, and that's what happened.
Well, but what did the Knicks do that was special?
I mean, I thought their defense was pretty good. I thought that...
I disagree.
They shot the ball. Well, they didn't allow San Antonio to get in the paint much. San Antonio could have done better than they did. But, like, there were a handful of drives there where guys were going to the bucket, and then the Knicks sealed it off. So they increased the intensity, but San Antonio went to sleep, Mike. I'm not here to defend the Spurs. I mean, it sounds like what I'm doing. The Spurs collapsed. Please, I'm not going to give up. I'm just telling you the Knicks have done this to multiple teams. They keep playing. Other teams don't.
So I'll give them credit for that, for sure, Mazz. They have a great sort of ethic in their play where they don't give up and they keep pecking and grinding and pecking and grinding, and that absolutely not every team would do that. I'll give them credit for that. I don't think the Knicks particularly shot the ball all that well. It's not like all of a sudden they caught fire. They missed a lot of shots, too. Took a lot of bad three-pointers, too. Jalen Brunson turns the ball over a lot.
He does.
Turned the ball over plenty in the second half. He missed most all of his clutch shots. I ask you, what did the Knicks do that was so special other than just keep playing? I defy you. Tell me.
I mean, I want to look up the threes in the fourth quarter. I thought they went like 6 for 9 or something.
And again, I'm not yelling at you. I guess I'm yelling at the world. I don't have their 3-point number in the fourth quarter. If it's that good, then I'll give it to you. I mean, Anunoby went 7 of 9 in the second half, 5 for 5 from beyond the line.
Yeah, he was really good.
Block with 12 seconds left, tip in to win the game. Special. I'll give you Anunoby's performance. I thought was singularly special. But just watching it, I don't feel like all of a sudden the Knicks just caught fire. I don't feel, other than Anunoby, any one particular player did anything particularly special, including Brunson. They just kept playing and kept going and let the other team do the thing. And for that, I'll give them credit. I think it's kind of cool that the Knicks keep getting these other teams to do it. They obviously got you to do it. They got the Cavaliers to do it earlier this postseason. Do you have the number of Knicks beyond the line in the fourth?
6 for 10. They were 12 for 20 overall. They shot 60% from the field, 60% from 3.
So it's good, but it's not like one of those 12 of 14 couldn't miss kind of things.
No, and the Spurs were 4 of 19 on field goals, 1 of 5 for 3.
See, I think that's the story. What the Spurs shot and what they did. So I'm, as usual, I guess I'm overstating it just a little bit. To drive home the point of what last night was. And the first leadoff thought is, how does it feel to be the Spurs, Celtics fans? Because that's what you are. That's what you are. That's what you do. What's the coach's name in San Antonio?
Johnson, right?
So I didn't stick around to hear his whole post game. I heard a cut or two. But if he's anything like Joe Mazzulla, I'm curious if after the game he said things like, I liked the process. All the stuff Joe Mazzulla would say. Because the story was that the Spurs shot themselves out of that game. And then again, DeAndre Fox, in that last 12 seconds.
That was unbelievable.
Going for the layup versus dribbling into the corner. Up a point, 12 seconds. All he had to do was dribble into the corner, get fouled, shoot free throws, and now you're up 3 points. And you're at least protected in regulation. And he went for the layup, and so the DeAndre Fox decision singularly was simply moronic and horrible basketball. But it was really them just launching threes and launching threes and launching threes. I had Jimmy look it up. I don't have my phone in front of me, but you can maybe fill this in, Jimmy. The league and the metrics track open threes and wide open threes, right?
So wide open threes are a defender 4 to 6 feet closest. The Spurs in the second half were 3 of 10. Closest defender is 2 to 4 foot range, and the Spurs were 0 of 7.
So there's open and wide open. Okay, so the open designation is 2 to 4 feet. The wide open is, you said, 3 to 6 feet, something like that. So
that's a combined 3 of 17 in the second half for open or wide open shots by the Spurs in three-point land.
What would Joe Mazzulla say if you came out of that game and you were the Spurs? What would he say?
Oh, they were good shots.
I like the looks.
Yeah.
They were good shots. The process was right. When are these guys, when are the analysts that have taken over the sports, when are the dim-witted, inexperienced coaches like Joe Mazzulla and the guy in San Antonio,
Mitch Johnson,
and many others, I'm sure, going to realize that a wide-open three-pointer, when you have a big lead in a playoff game, is not a good shot? I still don't know whether Joe Mazzulla realizes it or not. Do you think Joe Mazzulla thinks that taking three-pointers up in a playoff game is a bad approach?
No, of course he doesn't realize it.
He would still take an open 3 over a contested 2, even though the contested 2 might get you to the line, even though the contested 2 might force the issue, pressures the defense. No. Coaches like Joe Mazzulla think the open 3, the wide open 3, with a big lead in a playoff game is the right play. And they're wrong. We've seen it. How many times have we seen it? How many times have we seen it against just the Knicks? And this is what I will give them credit for. They let these other dumbass teams and dumbass coaches like Joe Mazzulla dupe themselves into thinking a kick-out open 3 is better than playing inside the line with a big lead in a playoff game. That's you. How does that feel, Celtics fans? Because that's what you are.
Don't you think in a lot of ways with San Antonio it's worse for 2 reasons? That in one, first of all, they don't shoot threes, a lot of threes normally.
They're not a high-volume three-pointing shooting team. It's right. They're middle of the pack.
Okay, and secondly, they have Victor Wembanyama. So you would think that in and of itself would lead itself to something. Who, by the way, let's not leave out the free throws that he gagged in the fourth quarter. Another thing that happened. They missed 3 free throws in the game as a team. He missed them all 3 of them, including the 2 for 2. So that's another one. I mean, they gagged. There's no question about it. And I don't disagree with the shot selection thing. That part was slamming you in the face. There were so many opportunities that they had, and not only did they take a lot of threes at a time when they didn't have to, they took them quickly
early in the shot clock. Mike Wilbon this morning had a stat. I'll play it for you later on. That'll illustrate this point. Go ahead.
Oh, my gosh. They kept doing it over and over again. It just accelerated the pace of the comeback is what it did. All they needed to, and all these teams seem to make the same mistake. They all do it. When all of a sudden a run starts, they all try to end it with a 3. They'll take the first 3 available instead of just trying to work the shot and the clock a little bit. So that part is absolutely true. I just think that the Knicks have balls. That's all. And the Spurs are young and they crap their pants. So if you again, I thought they shot the ball pretty well in the fourth quarter. Alvarado, who shows up once every third game, but when he does, makes plays, and he made shots last night in the fourth quarter. Well, I don't even think that guy's that good.
Hat tip to, he's not. Why? Who is he? But Woodson the coach there in New York felt the need to put a second ball handler out there to try and free up Brunson a little bit, and that worked. That was a good little bit of coaching right there. So in experience, and no one would say, Mike Woodson, is that, your idea of whoever, Red Auerbach there, but just a little bit of experience. And I would say Woodson comes from an era when it was more about basketball than the effing numbers.
You mean Brown is what you mean.
I'm
right?
sorry. What's the
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. Why am I saying Woodson? Mike Brown. Thank you. That he's a little bit older and comes from an era when it wasn't just so analytically driven, and he's got a little bit more basketball sense. So that was a good little wrinkle that they threw out there, and it helped. Where I think the Spurs and that young coach and your guy here, I know the Spurs are not a high-volume three-point shooting team, and I didn't listen to his whole presser, but I do know that if that were Mazzulla post-game, he'd say, I liked our shot selection, I liked the looks, I liked the process, some sort of mumbo-jumbo about the percentages of shooting kick-out wide-open threes, that's a good shot. And they do not get it. It's a combination of absolutely, you're right to blame analytics for that. You are absolutely right to do it because the analysts have taken over sports. They've taken over these teams. And analytically, the kick-out open three is a shot that the analysts have long identified as the most efficient in basketball. And they want it and they hunt it. And they do not coach their teams to pass it up. And you combine that with limited, inexperienced coaches like Joe Mazzulla and the guy in San Antonio, and that's why you get those blown leads. Never mind, it happened to Cleveland too, right? Remember what the Cleveland coach said earlier this postseason?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In terms of expected points, we should be up in this series. So that's not. This is what sports have become.
Sad.
This is what sports have become. Knicks definitely have more experience and more balls. Definitely, I will give that to them. But I will contend once again, they did not do anything particularly special. Anunoby had some special, individual, clutch, game-winning stuff. Take nothing away from him. But it's not like they went on some epic run. They had a lot of empty possessions, too. Brunson continued to turn the ball over deep into the fourth quarter. They took a bunch of bad three-pointers. They started to shoot well, but again, 60% beyond the line in the fourth is a big number, but it's not like historic. That doesn't account for the 29-point comeback. No. The only chance the Knicks had was for the Spurs to shoot themselves out of that game, and they did, just like you do. Do you realize it? Do the Celtics realize it?
No.
Do you think Mazzulla, I don't know if he's smart enough or not, might not even be the question, but is he smart enough or humble enough to look at it and say, we've been going at this wrong?
No. What are you, crazy?
No.
No chance.
With that coach and your approach, you're destined to do the same thing that the Spurs did, that you've done, that the Cavaliers did. You're still that team. And the sad part, I don't know that they have any recognition down there, or the coach does, that what they're doing is wrong. I bet if you asked Joe Mazzulla, he would say something like, we trust the process. And then some sort of new age mumbo-jumbo gobbledygook bullcrap. So I don't know how you can't, as a Celtics fan, watch that and not just internalize it a little bit.
Oh, you should. Again, I think this is part of the reason, though, why I find myself rooting for the Knicks. Because the Knicks generally don't fall into that crap.
Oh, they're refreshing, no doubt about it.
I mean, they play hard. They move the ball around. Brunson goes into the paint when he needs it to. He's got that little, stop and step back, like 10-footer that he takes that is freaking money. And he typically takes it from the right side, just inside the free throw line. But even last night, he ran in and floated one up there that went in. He does it all the time. And Anunoby is the nuts. That guy is freaking. He killed the Celtics in that game up in the bubble. Remember that? Like when he was with Toronto, same type of thing. The guy's got huge ones. So, I find I said this too. This part I agree with you on. There was.
Would you rather have the Knicks roster or the Celtics roster?
Celtics, because of the first two guys. Yeah, for sure. Knicks play better together. They play hard, though.
Knicks are a better story. They're more easy to root for. They're more what you want to be. I wouldn't want that. I don't think that roster's any. I don't. They're no kind of model. I told you. This is it for them. They're not winning another one. They're not making another finals. This is it. This is they slipped through a crack in the NBA window. But they don't have any MVP caliber players. I wouldn't want to bank my future on that. You've got two. I'd rather have the Celtics roster than them. I'd rather have their heart, their balls, their brain, their coach, everything else. But anyway, I'm sorry.
No. I went to bed last night after the third quarter, or late in the third quarter. I said, this thing's over. The Knicks aren't going to win this thing. I cashed out. See you later. I totally admit it. I didn't think that San Antonio would fall apart the way they did. I certainly didn't think the Knicks were going to pull it together. I thought that thing was great. Great.
So, again, as a Celtics fan, I don't know how you don't look at that and just sort of feel that and wonder, are you the Spurs? Yeah, you are. Let me answer it for you. You are. 617-779-0985. Your thoughts right after this.
Oh, yeah!
Thoughts, calls, emails.
Oh, yeah!
I get my jollies out of it. I do. I'm not a good person. Go ahead.
Felger and Mazz.
Oh, yeah!
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Brunson gets it back. Brunson on the drive. The floater's up. Shot won't go. Rebound deflected. In the backcourt. Fox has a chance to get it. Fox has it inside. Blocked by Anunoby. 9 seconds remaining. 6 seconds remaining. And Mike Brown, when they call a foul, they had a foul to give. So the Knicks will have to inbound.
Yeah, that was smart right there because you're worried. If they have that foul to give, you're worried right now. It's a scramble situation. Are you matched up?
That was very close to a backcourt violation. Now Mike Brown will call timeout.
Anunoby chases him down, blocks it. There were 12 seconds left, between 11 and 12 seconds left, when Fox went up for that layup, Mazz. All he had to do was run to the corner and stop.
Yeah. Kill the clock.
Foul, free throws. Now the Knicks get the ball. They had a timeout left, I believe. Front court, down 3 with, whatever that is. That's the worst case scenario. So the worst case scenario is you're risking overtime with a last-second three-pointer.
Yep.
Instead, the Dodo thinks he has him, goes for it. Anunoby sticks with it, blocks it. And then the Alvarado play. Again, if you were out, I don't know if you saw it, but he made a smart play that I wonder if it was smart or lucky. It was like that close to a backcourt, and you couldn't really tell. And I didn't know the rule, but for you to have been in the front court, for it to be a backcourt, you have to have both feet and the ball in the front court. And Alvarado, as he was running up, had both feet in the front court, but kept dribbling in the backcourt, and then got fouled and got rid of it. And I wonder if that was intentional or lucky.
I think it was luck.
Do you?
I do. I think it was luck. And it's like a guy who crosses the blue line with the puck behind him, right? That's effectively what he's doing, except he has it on his stick. In the case of Alvarado, he had the ball, as you said, the ball behind him. I think he got lucky.
Maybe.
I do. I think he got lucky. So, because again, in real time, it looked like backcourt. Like, whoa, wait a minute. But the ball never crossed. So, it was, I don't want to say they caught a break, like from the standpoint of the officials missed it. But I think he got lucky. I'm not sure he realized it.
Just a bunch of small little things that the Knicks either are just better at because they're more poised and more clutch, or they got lucky. The Alvarado thing, that was either smart or lucky. One thing I will give the Knicks credit for, the last-second Brunson shot, and the Barkley and those guys said it right after the game. Kenny Smith said it, and I guess he's right. You shoot early, and Brunson shot early. It was deep. But you shoot early to leave open the possibility for an offensive rebound or a putback.
Always, yep.
And I want to give Brunson credit for doing that. Now, maybe that was lucky too, but it's the right approach. And they said this is exactly what the Spurs didn't do in Game 2. In Game 2, Wembanyama shot that elbow jumper at the buzzer. If he shoots with 2 seconds left, there's a chance for an offensive rebound, putback, etc. And the Knicks made sure to get that ball up there quickly and get it to the rim. And so smart or lucky. There's just all those little plays on the margins. A lot of them went to the Knicks. And so it's hard not to root for that kind of team. And you want to be that kind of team. And it sucks that the Celtics are the other kind of team. Your thoughts, Carl in New Jersey. Go ahead, Carl.
Gentlemen, so I do not think the Celtics should trade for Giannis. He and Tatum would absolutely hate each other. They both need the best. They both need to be the best player. Neither wants to be a second option. I think if Giannis came here, he'd ruin the team chemistry like Kyrie did all those years ago. But the Celtics, they don't need a superstar. They need better complementary guys like Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Jose Alvarado. Not another star. I'll hang up and listen.
Do you think the Celtics don't have the roster to play with those two teams last night?
Well, some of their young guys aren't ready to play against some of the Knicks middle guys. I mean, again, some of those guys crap their pants.
Of course. And the Knicks have bigger, better big guys. And I got all that. Net at the end of the day.
That should be a series.
When you put
it minimum.
Put it all together. Do you think the Celtics, talent-wise? And again, it's weighted differently.
Yeah, no, I know. Listen, the Celtics have the two best players in the series. If they play the Knicks, they have the two best players in the series. And I don't care what anybody says about Brunson. You can exploit him at the other end.
They almost beat the Spurs without Brown and Tatum. What was the game that Brown got thrown out of?
Yeah, it was a Spurs game.
They almost won that game.
Correct.
They beat OKC twice. They, I guess they lost the season series to the Knicks. I can't remember who was available and who wasn't when it happened. But don't tell me that the Celtics don't have the talent to play with those teams.
Oh, they did. Listen, those two guys playing like they're supposed to play, they should be able to beat the large majority of teams in the league.
That's not the issue. Isn't talent, and that's not to say your roster's perfect or you couldn't use more big guys. Of course you could. Of course it's not perfect, and but wait it all out. Any series you go into, you're probably going to have the top two players in the series with size, with length. And not you can't get picked on defensively. You're home not because of talent. It's because of the other stuff, which makes it more maddening. The talent's the hard part. John in Charlestown.
Hi, Felge. Hi, Mazz. Thanks for taking my call. Both teams played a little bit of Celtics, well, a little bit. They played Celtics ball, and the Knicks played Celtics ball, and they lost. And now Spurs played Celtics ball, and they lost. But you keep blaming Mazzulla, and I was blaming Mazzulla too. And then I heard Brad Stevens' garbage, embarrassing press conference, which I'm still pissed off about, when he said, oh, no, it's our roster. Everyone was letting us play because they were tanking. Yeah, that's what happened at Oklahoma City when we won. This roster, there was nothing wrong with. You're never going to win with this coaching staff.
I agree. Or this play style. And I don't think Mazzulla has certainly the humility and the sort of makeup to admit that he's been wrong and change things up. So never mind the aptitude to install a whole different system. So I agree with Mazzulla. I don't think it's ever going to work. What was I just going to say? Well, anyway, it's about the way you play. And it is the volume of threes. It's a losing approach. It just is. When I was watching that game last night and the Spurs were just lighting up in the first half, it was predominantly because they just caught fire from beyond the line.
That's right.
And I said to myself, this is the Knicks' chance that the Spurs are going to get lulled into this thing that they're making from out there. They're going to stay out there. And the Knicks still have a chance in this if the Spurs decide to keep playing this way in the second half, because they're not going to shoot like this in the second half. And they're going to get duped into thinking that this is their night back there, and this is an easy way for them to let go of the rope. If they had gained that lead inside the line, I would have felt differently. But because the three-pointer was going in, I said to myself, there's still a chance in this. Because I bet you they come out and they let go of the rope because it came to them easy in the first half.
Well, so that's the problem with it, is because that part occurred to me too. The 3-point thing is an easy way to score if it goes in. So all of a sudden you don't put the effort in that you need to put in to win the game. So, and that's in the first half, they were 14 of 26 from three, which is 54%. So, but that's a lot of threes. I think the 14 they made in a half was the most ever in a half by a team in the finals, if I remember. So it was all about the fact that their threes were going in. And then, but I will say, though, when the second half started and they actually opened up the lead a little, I think it went to 29 from 27. At that point, I said, okay, this isn't going to happen for the Knicks tonight. And I couldn't have been more wrong.
Well, at 29, I know it's hard to predict. I'm just saying.
But, Mike, the style of play is absolutely a factor. It's stupid.
Trying to close out a playoff game from beyond the line is a losing strategy. The important thing is to ask, if you're a Celtics fan, is does Joe Mazzulla realize that? Or does he just think an open three, whenever you take it, is the right shot?
No, the second thing.
It's the second thing. I think so.
And Stevens thinks that too.
And you're not going to win again if that's how you're playing. Unless what happened a couple of years ago happens again where everyone gets hurt and you play a bunch of 5 seeds. Then maybe. Other than that, if anyone challenges you, if you decide to get leads that way and then maintain leads that way, you're going to lose. You're going to lose, and it's going to happen again. And that, to me, is an even more important thing than the adjustments you have to make to your roster, which you obviously need to make. But I'll take my chances with Brown and Tatum against any team in the league if they're playing the right way.
If they're playing the right way.
Peter in Rhode Island. Go ahead, Peter.
Hi, guys. I could not believe I was watching NBA Finals coaching last night. This is on a par of Pete Carroll and Kyle Shanahan in that Atlanta Super Bowl, calling absolutely bizarre plays.
I thought San Antonio had no plays at the end. There were a couple different possessions, and they said it on the broadcast that it looks like San Antonio, it was either Jefferson or, how come I'm blanking
Legler?
on? Legler. They don't know what they're doing here, and they didn't. It was too late into their sets. They didn't have anything called. They didn't quite know what they were doing. They did that a lot. Poorly coached. And then even as simple as the Knicks' last inbounds, where it ended up with Anunoby with the tip, they had no one on Anunoby on the inbounds.
Correct.
When the Spurs had their last inbounds, did you notice? Karl Anthony Towns was on the inbound.
Usually you put a big guy on the ball to make the pass difficult.
He had Towns on the inbound, and he deflected. That's why that ball turned into a loose ball, because Towns got his fingertips on it. And even something as small as that, it's like they didn't cover the inbound. And then it was the inbounder who ended up getting the tip.
Right, and then they lost him even after they weren't covering him to start, and then they didn't pick him up when he came in.
And the Knicks were just the opposite. We're not just going to put someone on the inbound. We're going to put a 7-footer on the inbound. And he ended up deflecting it. There's all just like, oh, I love that stuff. And all those little things there didn't just go the Knicks' way, but I want to give them credit for being that kind of team.
Yeah, they're in the right place usually, is really what it comes down to. They're in the right, and that tip, just to finish that, was a freaking great tip. That was not an easy tip.
You mean Anunoby?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that was not an easy tip. That was a great putback to score on that play. It was ridiculous.
I feel bad. I don't have this thing that you folks have. I don't blame you for it. But I do feel bad for the Boston fan. Now you've got to hear this for for the rest of your life. The hand of God. That's what they're calling that.
Yeah.
The hand of God. You're going to have to hear that for the rest of your life. Just like you've heard for your entire life this Fakakta 1972 or 73 or Willis Reed, like this thing, that garbage Knicks franchise has won twice. You've been hearing about it for 50 years. Get ready for that. This is the next 50.
It came down out of the cloud.
The hand of God. That's the next thing that you will hear for the rest of your life.
OG is now OMG.
Back to your thoughts after Kevin Majori. The major there gets you updated. Don't go anywhere.
Now, more of Felger and Mazz on the Sports Hub.
To sit there and watch this unfold with the Knicks, shoulders to the mat, it's over. Except it wasn't, because San Antonio played the dumbest basketball, sustained stretch of dumb basketball I've ever seen. I was going to give you one stat.
Yes.
So they go 14 for 26 on threes in the first half. We get it. They build this enormous lead on three-point shooting, but they have to know they can't sustain that. And I remember turning to Stephen A. at one point saying, okay, I get this huge lead, but this is not sustainable. They thought it was sustainable because in the second half, they missed 14 of 17 threes. But here's the stat. Of those 17 threes, 12 of them came with 10 seconds or more on the 24-second shot clock. And of those 12 threes that came with 10 seconds or more, they went 1 for 12.
There were a couple possessions in particular that I remember. They got the rebound, they came up the floor, and they shot the ball inside. It was like...
There were a couple late that they
late.
did, too.
No, that's what it was. It was exactly that's it.
Not even the bulk of the third quarter. Again, they were up 25. They had a sequence where they shot 8 straight three-pointers, went 0 for 8, up 25. But then there were a couple late, Mazz, where they had actually hit a couple buckets, sort of steadied things, and run and gun and fired them up quick in the possession.
They took them fast. There was one in particular. I can't even remember who took it. It was from the right wing, the equivalent of the right elbow. And I remember I backed it up to look at how much time there was on the shot clock, and it was like 17 seconds. I mean, they were like, they had so much time on the shot clock, and they chucked it up fast. And it happened again on the next possession.
They missed 14 of 17 three-point attempts in the second half. 12 of those 17 came with 10 or more seconds left on the shot clock, and of those 12, they went 1 for 12.
Brutal.
That is just, and you can absolutely blame the analytics that have taken over the NBA and sports for that. You can. And inexperienced coaches who just coach to the numbers, like your guy. That's what you blame.
And Mike, they lost by a point. Okay, so if they had whittled a little, in theory, whittled a little more time on some of those possessions and taken 1-2 that they made, they win the game. It wouldn't have taken much. I mean, again, to blow a lead like that, you got to be complicit in that sort of thing. And the recklessness with which they shot, to me, was a big part of it.
Matt in the car, what do you got?
Hey, guys. First off, Michael and Felger, thank you. Mazz and Felger, thank you for the shout-out last week. You thought I was 25 years old. Everyone's telling me, yeah, no, Felger.
Do you remember Matt in the car?
No idea.
No idea.
Me neither.
I can't even think about, maybe it'll come to me, but what's your point today, Matt?
Okay, you remember the Oklahoma City talk. What I was going to say is basketball, yeah, it's not good right now. You don't blow leads like that. And, Michael, the greatest game I ever saw in my life was in the late 80s. Milwaukee, Seattle, 6 overtimes in the Mecca. Big shout-out to Cam, Hayden, and Nicholas. Have a great day, boys.
Okay.
Love you guys.
All right. So maybe he's the guy that I said OKC wouldn't win again?
Maybe, I don't remember.
If that's it, Matt, so I was right about that one. That's the way he said, I'm going to call you in 2 weeks and tell you, you do that, pal. That whole thing. I think. I don't know. But let me get the Knicks. This is it for them. They're not winning another one. They're not making it back to the finals.
I don't think so either.
And I will stand by my take on Victor Wembanyama. I originally said, and it really should be, it's over-under championships for him 2.5. I'm under. I really want to be under 1.5, but I think I guess I don't have the guts to say he'll only win 1. But I think Victor Wembanyama, I'm not convinced Victor Wembanyama is going to be anything more special than Nikola Jokic, who, by the way, is plenty special. Nikola Jokic, MVP, world champion. I think Victor Wembanyama is going to win MVPs and win a championship. I don't think he sucks. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But I think he's going to be, I'm not convinced he's anything more than just a great one-time champion like Nikola Jokic. Sorry. Now, a lot of the stuff last night, not his fault. They played him.
I was just going to ask you this. Go ahead.
They played him all but 58 seconds of the second half. They played him, I think it was 23:02 was his second half minutes. That's too much. He's not ready for it. Most big guys can't, most 7-footers can't carry that kind of load. And I know the game is changing, but he was clearly rubber-legged by the end of it. And, he's young, so I'm not going to give him this label, but he's been choky in these playoffs.
He has.
I mean, he threw away game 2.
He did.
And last night, he misses those 2 free throws. I mean, he's not been part of the solution late in these games. And he's super young, and I'm not going to label him with that. But just call for what it is. I mean, he's gagging some of these games.
So, yeah, the thing last night, you got to bury those free throws. I'm sorry. He's a good shooter, particularly for a big man. But in general, he's a good shooter. You got to make those. You can't claim both of those free throws. They missed 3 as a team. They were all his. 2 of them in the fourth quarter. And I was just about to say to you, did it feel like he touched the ball enough in the final 6 minutes? And my answer would be no.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, but I just looked it up. He took 9 shots in the fourth quarter. He went 2 for 9. They were all 2s, and he made 2 of them. And then again, on top of it, he went 1 for 4 at the free throw line. So, there was he was garbage at the end of that game. Garbage.
Meanwhile, here comes Mazz's Tiers.
Yeah.
It's that time of the week. You would think greatest comebacks ever, right? Too easy. Too easy. We got something else in store for you. And to help us do it, we're going to have a special guest. An original cast member returns to Felger and Mazz.
Wiggy?
For the Tiers. Stay tuned to just figure out who that is. Coming your way right after this.
Wig!
Boston's best sports talk. You can count on it.
2 plus 2 is a 5.
Me sento un po' pacchiato perché
Felger
Roma
and Mazz.
ignara le usanze
Bernardi Auto, they've got Audis, Hondas, and Toyotas. They are the ones who sponsor who Mazz thinks is a fraud and who's for real.
Sing it.
Mazz's Tiers.
Yeah, those are the tears of the clown.
Mazz's Tiers.
The second tier.
Hold on, let me get to
Mazz's Tiers.
Dallas. Buffalo. Tennessee.
Mazz's Tiers.
Third tier.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me get my pen.
Mazz's Tiers. 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 Tiers.
Time for Mazz's Tiers with a special guest. You're hearing the voice of Mark the Beatle Bertrand.
Beatles here.
Original cast member Felger and Mazz from 2009 to
2015.
What?
Early 2015.
2015?
Yeah, that's when
it
Murray
was
came,
Super Bowl
yeah.
49 was my departure date.
Was that Deflategate?
Right after it started.
He went with a bang. With the first year, was it like a rotating? Did we have like Wallach in here for a time? Like, wouldn't the
at the beginning?
At the beginning, wouldn't
Yeah,
they have the morning guy stay for an hour or two or something like that?
Remember? Yeah.
Wasn't there a rotation, Beetle?
Yeah. And we. Sorry, go ahead.
So, are you talking like the very early days of the station?
Yes.
First week.
Yeah, it only lasted like 10 days though.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, and it didn't last long. It was a few weeks.
But
Yeah.
you're right. We used to have a guy for the first hour of the show,
Yeah.
and then he left him.
Yeah, there were days where I'd leave at like 5 p.m.
It was something.
It was like,
we
yeah, get
get
out.
Chuck Perks for the last.
Yeah,
hour or
exactly. It was that. I think that was more the overlap.
Chuck Perks.
Even Murray too. Murray was a part-timer then.
It's Mazz's Tiers. When it comes to auto dealers, the Bernardi Auto Group always finishes first with Mazz. It's because they sell and service Acura, Audi, Honda, Toyota, and Volvo. Bernardi for now, Bernardi for life. Find them now at BernardiAutoGroup.com.
Mazz's Tiers.
There he is. Beetle's going to help out. Our third man in is Alex Barth, but he's coming back from Gillette, so Beetle's going to pitch in for this segment. What is this week's?
Mazz's Tiers.
Thank you. What is this week's topic, Mazz?
Okay, things you should care about, but you really don't.
So the germination of this, the inspiration, is the World Cup. You are told, you have to watch this. This is the greatest tournament in the world. You've got to see this. You've got to see this. You've got to see this. And the vast majority of you just don't care. So this is tiers of things that you are told you have to watch or have to care about, but you just don't. And I suggested to Mazz, we can even go non-sports with some of these things because it'll just make sense.
Yeah, so we will allow non-sports entries. Okay,
and we'll give you some examples coming up.
Yeah, I did put one on the list,
Oh, good.
actually. Okay, but we will allow non-sports entries or submissions for this particular one. But, Beto, we typically start with Tier 3 and work up. You can.
I'm a big fan of the segment, Mazz. I know how this works.
Okay, well, if you act like Murray, you can sort of snicker and make wise-ass comments as we go.
I'm good at that, yeah.
If you're a decent, responsible human being who understands structure, you'll wait your turn.
I'm not going to do that.
Tier 3. The Little League World Series. You can go pound sand with the Little League World Series. The last thing I need is a bunch of fat 12-year-olds on my TV in the afternoon.
You're fat-shaming 12-year-olds.
Yeah, and the kids who aren't
You're talking
fat,
about decent human beings.
and the ones who aren't fat and 12 or 16.
Who was the catcher in the Bad News Bears?
Oh, Engelbert.
Engelbert. I was going to say Ogletree. Engelbert. Engelbert.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, the Frozen Four. You can shove that one too, please. Glorified beanpot. There's like 10 teams in the country that play college hockey. Nobody gives a crap about the Final Four. Next, the beanpot.
Thank you.
4-team tournament. Wow, you're automatically in the semis just by showing up. That's a good event. Skills contests of any kind. Waste of time.
Okay,
Kids table.
Are you told that you have to watch them though?
Yeah, did you see the home run derby?
Okay.
How about did you see the three-point contest?
Maybe.
Hey, I've seen Zdeno Chara's 105-mile-an-hour slap shot. It's not to be missed.
This one was not my suggestion, but I put it on there. Horse racing. Anything that is based on an animal shouldn't count.
So when you're saying people say the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, you're out on that?
Yeah, again, it's all about the gambling. That's why people watch. You want to bet, but the actual event, I mean, would you watch a fishing tournament? Is it about the fish?
No, but no one tells me that I have to watch it.
Okay, but again, though, did you see the
No,
derby?
but people say you have to watch the derby.
Yeah, you got to go. Mint juleps. And I would say most individual sports in the Olympics are worthless. Completely and utter worthless. The biathlon.
Okay, but are you told you have to watch the biathlon?
Some people say, well, the Olympics are a great take. According to a lot of people, I'd tell you the large majority of Olympic events suck. They're not worth watching.
The one that Beatles scoffed at with I'm With Him, the Little World Series is a good take.
It's fabulous. You're dead wrong on that one.
Oh, please.
And for the record, I was a fat 12-year-old, and I mashed. Okay? Mashed.
Tier 2.
Batting average through the roof, Mazz.
Tier 2.
Back when we valued putting the ball in play.
Tier 2. Soccer. In all forms. Soccer. And again, I told you, I'm actually opening up to this a little bit, but most Americans would just pick their nose and flick it right at the game of soccer, especially the World Cup. Because the World Cup viewers throughout this event will be largely the international community here in the United States. That's just my 2 cents. The non-sports event that we had on this list, the latest, most popular streaming series. And there's always one of them. Someone says, yeah, what's the one with the three ladies? Kerry Washington's in it. Oh, God, I can't remember. But,
why is it always the one that you pick out with like the hot woman in it?
I am a Kerry Washington.
Yeah, no. It's of course it is. You love Kerry Washington. That's why you're bringing that
Scandal?
one up. The Pit right now is the one that everyone tells you got to watch.
Yeah, the Bears coming back. Did
the
you know
Bear
that?
final season.
Yeah,
right, so
the 26th of June.
This is my suggestion.
Hulu.
You have to watch Breaking Bad. You haven't seen Game of Thrones. You have to watch The Wire. No, I don't. I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen 1 second of them. If I get around to it, I will, but I don't have to. No, I don't. I can't be made to care about TV shows. I'm sorry, I can't.
So again, I see the disconnect between you and I because you're basing it on. Do people tell me I have to watch it?
You have to. You haven't seen Breaking Bad. You have to watch. No, I don't. I don't have to.
No. So I understand. I actually went with things that people say you have to talk about are important that aren't necessarily important. For example, on this list, competitive balance. Does anyone really give a rat's ass about competitive balance? People talk about competitive balance all the time.
I do.
Okay, but is it really a major issue for you? Do you not watch a sport because of competitive balance?
100%.
Really?
Yes.
Which one have you stopped watching because of that?
The old NBA. The NBA of the Golden State Warriors. The NBA of the Bucks were involved, so I did watch Celtics Lakers, but that bored me to tears. The NBA of the Michael Jordan 90s. I hated that.
Okay, I guess I'm focused more on the baseball part of it, like competitive balance is
very important to me as a Brewer fan.
Competitive balance only comes up when your team sucks.
Yeah, right.
That's
exactly.
If your team's good, you don't care.
That's sort of my feeling. Auto racing, especially F1.
Are we told we have to watch it?
Auto racing?
Yeah.
No. None of these things you're told you have to watch, but the people that are fans of it are the ones who promote it and say, oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Right. Kendra Middleton would tell you, you don't know what you're missing.
Right. And I would say F1, F you. Owners losing money. The importance of cash flow is another topic, by the way, that to me, you can blow that one out your ear. Like, it's a cash flow problem. But really? Meanwhile, the value of the franchise is going up exponentially. So they're all going to cash out at the end if they're losing a few bucks along the way. It's called like depreciation, basically, if you own a home. So that one, to me, not an issue. Also, the Tour de France. Is there a more overrated event on the planet than the Tour de France?
I'm just not told you have to see this.
Okay. But again, the cyclists would tell you it's one of the great feats. The people who support the Tour de France would tell you it's one of the great feats in the world. And I would say, how is it a great feat when every guy out there gets shot up with some sort of steroid? I mean,
how is it right on horse tranquilizer?
I was going to say, who takes more, the horses or the bicycles?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, George, who produces with you guys from time to time, the People's Champ.
Yeah, George Sepulveda.
I could give Georgie some of those steroids and he could win the Tour de France. He can't even reach the pedals. God bless him. Okay? Tier 1. These are the ones that kind of go up my ass again. It's Mazz's
Here
tiers.
we go.
So these are personal items.
Mazz's
MMA.
Tiers.
MMA is a big one.
Good one.
Yeah, MMA 793's on this weekend. You're going to watch.
Can't be made to care.
Do you remember that week where we did the MMA thing when it was here? All those years ago?
Yeah,
we tried.
We tried.
We tried.
Did we get callers? We probably did.
Oh, we got 1 million callers of people saying, yeah, you don't understand. You're going to love it. We didn't love it.
Yeah.
We tried.
Okay, Mike, this one should go right up your alley. The NCAA bracket.
The NCAA tournament is exactly what I'm talking about. You've got if you don't like the NCAA tournament, you don't like sport. Do you know how great? I cannot be made to care about the NCAA tournament. I'm sorry, I can't.
So again, to me, I throw it in. The bracket is what inspires people to do it, I think, or to watch it. Most people, it comes down to gambling yet again. The WNBA is on my list. I'm sorry. I am a big supporter of women's sports. I am, and I'm interested in Caitlin Clark. But I couldn't tell you where half the teams are. Like if you said to me, what is the Dallas team name? Is there a Dallas team in the WNBA? There probably is.
I don't know.
Okay, see, this is my point.
You can't be made to care.
I would also say any golf event outside of the majors.
Well, I mean, let me give you an example. It's not on my list, but guys like us and a lot of people will say to the fans, the back nine Sunday at Augusta is must-watch TV. You have to watch that. And for a lot of people, they look at that and go, no, I don't. It's effing golf. It's boring.
Right, exactly.
You can't make me care about golf like that. It's not on my list, but that's the spirit of what I think we're talking
Okay,
about.
and I am one of those golf losers. But if you tell me, like, Majori watching the freaking Colonial or something like that, dude, you need to find something to do. The Colonial? Yeah, they're playing at Riviera this week. Great. Excellent. Let me know how it goes. And then finally, stupid individual feats of any kind, like the cycle.
Yes. All right, so listen, let's do the update, Beal. You stick around for a minute?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, give me more on your list. I'll give you more on mine about things that you have to see, you have to watch. Oh, my God, you've got to see that. You've got to watch this. And you sit there and you say, no, I don't. Or you have to do this. And the truth is you really don't. That's the list. We'll get to more suggestions right after Majori gets us updated. 90 seconds. I was going to say Beetle. He didn't do that anymore. 90 seconds, no commercials for Majori. We're right back.